Hi, it's Lipstick Gal. Thanks for watching today. And I wanted to share with you what some of my absolute favorite products were for the month of June. It's kind of a different month for me because I wasn't wearing as much makeup this month. Before we get started, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and leave me a note down below what your favorite products were for this month. So this month was different. At the beginning of the month, I went to my dermatologist to have my annual head-to-toe checkup. They found a small spot on my nose that needed to be biopsied because it might have been basal cell carcinoma. Biopsy came back, everything was fine, it was benign, but it really changed the way I did beauty products for this month. I wasn't able to wear makeup for almost 2.5 weeks. And what I did, and this is really silly, let me grab a little Q-tip here, but my my dermatologist says get some Aquaphor, grab a little bit of it on the end of a Q-tip, and then just keep that spot covered. Just, you're gonna have a giant glob there. She's like, you can spread it out if you want, but basically just live with a giant spot of Aquaphor right on your biopsy spot. You don't want it to dry out because then it's going to scab, and the sooner it scabs, the more likely you are to pick at it or have it wash off if you're taking a shower. She goes, and that's going to leave you with a larger scar. So just keep it completely covered. And I did this for like 2.5 weeks. I just lived with a giant glob of Aquaphor on my nose. And the one thing I'll tell you is I'd never really thought of this as a beauty product. But then sometimes I'd get too much and I'd use it like on the backs of my hands to rub it in and be like, oh, I gotta get rid of all of this. You know, you just start kind of like, oh, I'm gonna get rid of it. And it rubs in pretty nice, but I found that my hands are softer than they've been in a long time. It did really help my nose. I never really got a scab. And when I was finally able to start wearing makeup over it, I had really like a bright pink spot there as the skin was healing, but there was no longer a scab, and it never got dry, it never got uncomfortable. It really surprised me. And so then I started putting some of this like on my toes and on my heels with socks at night. My feet are so much better than they've been. And I really do think that this is a really underrated product. You may not be somebody who likes petroleum-based products. I had been steering clear of things like Vaseline and Aquaphor for a long time until my dermatologist told me that one thing, and I started seeing like, oh, wow. It makes for a really great occlusive, especially now that it's hotter. My hands and my cuticles aren't as dry as they had been. I don't wear it all day long, but good things happened here and my hands are softer. So there you go. I think it's been a great product. Other things I've been loving for hydration, of course, this Sol de Janeiro Boom Boom Cream. This stuff smells like a tropical vacation. It's so gorgeous. I'm like more than halfway done. I'm like down to here. I'm about to need a new one in the next like month or so, and it's $45, but I'm hooked now. All right, my two favorite sunscreens, of course, the Beet Sheild from Krave Beauty. That's a great one. And this is one that I just started using this month. This is from Neutrogena. It's the Ultra Sheer Body Mist 100 SPF. And this sprays in a really light layer, and I spray it all over my chest, all over my arms, and then I rub it in. And it's so much easier than anything else. And the dress that I'm wearing has this same sort of kind of, it's not a neckline, but in the back. And so I can spray like this and rub it in, and 100 SPF. So it's really easy to apply, and it also makes my skin look really hydrated. So I like that a lot. Because I wasn't wearing a lot of makeup, I'd really been focusing on fragrance, and I've been loving this one from Givenchy. It's the Dahlia Divine, and then I think everybody knows about this, if not loves it. It's the YSL Black Opium. Absolute favorite. And I've been making some pretty good headway because normally I don't wear a ton of fragrance, and I'm halfway through this one. It's not just from this month. And this one here, I'm finally to the point where you can see that it's not like full all the way up to the top. It takes me a long time to plow through fragrance because I don't like to be really heavily scented, but I have been loving those this month. All right. I love this. This is the Glossier's MangoBalm.com. I opened it at the tail end of last month. So I think it was like the 25th, 26th. And in just about a month to 4.5 weeks, I have plowed through half the tube. It smells like mangoes. It has a very slight peach color to it. You can see it there in the tip. It's a beautiful product. And this is another one. Oh, it smells so good. I use it mainly on my lips, but there have been times like at nighttime, if I feel like my under eyes are a little dry, I'll tap some between some fingers and then just tap it out underneath my eyes. I have been known to use it on cuticles. I just really like this product. I've been sailing through this and I don't remember going through a tube this quickly. Fantastic. All right, this came in my BoxyCharm. This is the Touch and Soul No Poreblem Prime Essence, and I've been using this just like skincare. So I would put this on and then sunscreen over the top, but I feel like it really helped to smooth out my skin, especially on the days that I wasn't wearing makeup. This was really great and I love it, and I'm plowing through this. At nighttime, I have really fallen in love with this product from the Inkey list. This is their Retinol. Hello, phone. This is their Retinol. You get 1 ounce and it's really reasonably priced. Let me check the price for you real quick. So this product can be found on Sephora for $9.99. I had been using a retinol. Actually, it wasn't a retinol. It was a retinoid. Their Grand Active Retinoid from The Ordinary. I like that product a lot. I like this one a lot more, and I like the fact that it's $10 and you get a whole ounce, and it has made such a tremendous difference on my face. I suffer from larger pores in this area, as well as some really small, almost unnoticeable texture, like right down in here and right across here, until I put makeup on it. And then it's like, hello, texture. Just little teeny tiny bumps. This really helps keep it at bay. And I have been using a facial mask, the one from, I'll throw a picture of it up for you. It's from Peach and Lily. It's their resurfacing mask. That's beautiful, but with this problem on my nose, I've been really concerned about putting an acid anywhere close to it. So I've been skipping the mask for almost this entire month of June. And I've been using this just like starting like here and then in other places. And my hyperpigmentation spot's a little bit lighter. I don't have any texture on my face. Love this product. Highly recommend. I have kind of normal to combination skin, and it's not sensitive at all, so I don't find that I have any problem when I use this like 3 times a week. But I love this. All right, I don't know if you've noticed 3 different shades on my nails. I've been doing a lot of that. My favorite polish brand, by the way, is Zoya. This kind of medium blue here is called Rocky. This really pale blue, this one right here is Lillian. And then the sparkly shade that I have is Hazel. And I love doing a manicure, we've got a little cat hair on there, where if you kind of do this, you see that these guys line up, these guys line up. And I do that, but it's different on each hand, and they're all kind of in the same family of colors, and I like that a lot. But I think these polishes are gorgeous. I think they're 10 free. They're really some of the top-notch polishes, and they're really not bad for you at all. I know that it's not gel, I know that it's not the dip, but I don't think that my nails can survive that sort of heavy duty. So I like to do my own, and I do my own like a couple times a week, and the minute they start to chip, take it off and do it again. And I find the more time I spend in water, the more likely I am to get nails that kind of go, ugh, and they fall apart. But I think that they look pretty good, and as long as I don't use my fingers as tools or spend time in the bathtub like for hours, my manicure lasts a good, 5-6 days. And the days that I don't do that, well, then I'm doing my manicure twice a week. But I do love Zoya polishes, and I do love a multicolored kind of manicure. One thing that I have been using a lot, especially in the last week and a half when I finally started wearing more makeup, is this. This surprised me. This is kind of on the half I love it and I hate it. It's the new Good Vibes mascara from Trestique. The part that I hate is this. They give you a little half lash curler, and the problem I have is when I do half and then I do the other half, the place in the middle, it splits, and I don't think it works well. The other thing was I don't get a really good curl with this. My lashes still look like they were coming straight out, but what I love about this is the formula itself. If you look at my lashes, like they're longer than just about any other mascara. And the other thing is a lot of mascaras, if you go through any of my past favorites, I have a lot of mascaras and what didn't work for me because I have a perpetually watery left eye, and I'm always using really creamy products under my eyes as well as creamy concealers, and then I get transfer. and I end up with either crumble, which I do not abide, or kind of like that little smudgy gray kind of raccoon looking thing. Absolutely can't handle that. This doesn't do either of those. Now I've only had this for like about 3 weeks, so I will check back with you. I feel like this top half here is just like for the birds. If you can make it work, good for you. My little straight downward pointing lashes are like, rebel, we won't curl, and then we'll split where we tried to curl. But it's the formula that I love oh so much. Now, one thing that I did spend a lot of time in this month was lip products, and I had 3 favorites. I try to go more neutral when I'm not wearing a full face of makeup. Sometimes I put on a really punchy red because I love red, but most of this month I lived in this. This is the Colourpop So Juicy in the shade Dress Code. It's a beautiful mauve shade. I love it a lot. It looks like that. It's gorgeous. I also have this. This is one of the melting lip clicks from Sephora, and this is in the shade Caramel. And it's really interesting because you press this down here and it advances this. It's in a slim tube because it's a very creamy formula, very glossy, and it's a really pretty neutral, my lips but better. I love this. And the other thing that I was surprised, my husband brought home a whole bunch of Burt's Bees lip products for me, and I was like, he's like, they were on sale, and I know you like lip stuff, so I'll do a whole video just on the products that he brought home. But this is one of my discoveries that I absolutely love. This is their tinted lip oil, and this is the shade Crimson Breeze. So it's got a little brush applicator. It clicks by, advances up through this way, but the color, oh boy, these guys are almost all exactly the same shade. So this is the Burt's Bees right here. I think out of all of them, this one needs to be reapplied more frequently than any of the rest. It has just a slightly more red tone to it. This is a little bit more pinky, and this is more mauve, but they're all glossy. They're all kind of my lips but better. This one I think is the most obvious, but I always over apply gloss. This one here is the most natural because normally it looks more like that. And this one I think is really comfortable on the lips. So there you go. Those are my favorites for this month. Take a quick sip. We're gonna get into my one fail. I, after my biopsy, have been looking for ways to reapply my makeup. I'm sorry, reapply my sunscreen over the top of makeup. And that's one of those things that I usually try and use. I put down a dedicated SPF. This is SPF 50. And then I try and make sure that if I'm using a foundation in the summertime, if I'm going to be out in the sun, I use one that also has more SPF. And I have a couple from, I have It Cosmetics CC Cream, and that's SPF 50. And then I also have one of their powders that has an SPF 50 built in. So that's kind of how I've been handling, you know, put a layer of dedicated sunscreen, a layer of dedicated, you know, foundation that has another layer of SPF 50, and then the powder, and then I touch up with the powder. But I find that it, especially in the summer, it really is cakey. And I think that also the older I get, my skin just really takes on any sort of powder and it makes it look really textured, and it makes it look, it really ages me. I just don't like the look of it. So I thought, is there a way that I can find something that I could spray over my face? And I picked this up at Ulta Beauty. This is their 50 Sun Protection Broad Spectrum SPF 50 Sunscreen Rose Water Setting Mist. And that's like, if you read from the top all the way down, that's what it says. It says, what's interesting here is that it's matte finish, water resistant for 80 minutes. Now, I think that the sun protection itself, it's got a little mixing ball in here, so you have to kind of do that. And it gives a fairly fine mist, but the problem I have, I didn't want to spray it on my face, because the last time I did that, my eye watered for 4 hours. It just teared up, teared up, teared up. So I'm trying to find a way, if I can kind of like rig a way to do this, to cover just this part of my face and then spray my forehead and the rest of my face. It also smells really chemically. I like the idea of being able to spray SPF 50 as a protective layer over makeup already, but don't get this stuff in your eyes. And I find that it's really difficult not to sometimes, you know, it's still kind of the little molecules of it are lingering in the air. You open your eye and then a little bit of it hits. It's like, And when it's a different type of spray, like this one, this is my favorite spray right now. This is the Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist. I don't have any problem if this gets in my eyes. I don't have any problem if I accidentally get a little MAC Fix Plus in my eyes. I don't have a problem if I get some other setting sprays in my eyes. But this one, and it wasn't as if like my eye was able to tear up and water out the portion that was bothering it. It continued to be irritated for 4 hours. And at the end of the day, all of the eyeliner and mascara, like from this third over, was gone, and all of the eyeshadow in this area, it was just a mess. I was constantly like pressing and touching, and I just wiped it all off. But there was a constant tear. It was not good. So execution, I don't know what it is that's so strong in this, but this is definitely my monthly fail. So there you go. Mostly good stuff, a lot of skincare, and I don't know that I emphasize that enough, that I have a deep, abiding, like warm spot in my heart for skincare. If you want to know more of my skincare favorites or some of my my routines, just let me know. I'd be glad to go into that for you. But I really have been less makeup, more other things. But now that my nose is all healed up and that little pink spot is kind of dying down with a little concealer over the top, we'll be doing more makeup. Thanks for being patient with me. Thank you so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and let me know what your favorites were for this month in the comments down below. I'll see you again soon. Bye.